Hey guys, good morning. What's up? I am Yalek, and in today's video, I'm back on my mid-level Boom Raider account to show you how I've been keeping busy the last couple of days. It has not been too shabby. Not to brag on myself, but did a really killer op hit yesterday, and I have a very similar one coming up immediately after this video. Um, but for now, let's make something go boom. Starting with, this was actually yesterday. These first three attacks are yesterday, and then there's one from this morning. And this was a guy who was more my level, and I actually felt a little bit bad. There's a couple of these. I actually feel a little bit bad because it's completely non-competitive. You know, when I'm fighting uphill against the guys who are in the 50s, I don't feel so bad because I have to get cagey about that. But with these guys who are my level, yeah, it's a little unfair, actually. So, I barted out a rocket launcher to the far left and a shock launcher right in front of the HQ. And if you know me, that means only one thing. We're going to this side, drop to save GBE, flared right to the wall, because then we're going to pull out as the, no jokes, as the smokes are starting to expire. We flare something this way so the heavies go to that side, and then that way I can just stay under one smoke, basically. It's a GBE saving technique that I have stolen from the leaderboard players. Hi, Ryan. But it works in this context, and I can't do all of the stuff that those guys are doing, but that's one thing I can do. So you'll see it in this attack, you'll see it in an attack later, where I just sort of flared to the side, or actually I ended up smoking to the side of the flare, and then that way saving myself on having to do two smokes to hide my troops. And we're just ripping through the back of this base. That shock blaster doesn't range. The only thing really I have to worry about is the mortar, and I have critters and a heavy out there to distract. These are all one-hitters, and this fellow is going down in rapid succession with, I mean, yeah, the heavies die, but that's kind of the point of this formation. The heavies die. A lot of Zookas out there. That's a lot of damage potential. So that was cool. And then, let's see, so he was a 45, like I said, more on my level. And this guy, I love seeing bases like this. Totally spread out, and that generally means I'm going to be able to avoid things. In this case, I like the right side, which means I can avoid this, I can avoid this, I can avoid this, and I'm barding out in the middle a rocket launcher and a shock launcher. And that leaves this rocket launcher as my main problem here. And I do have a sort of a freeway up the right side of this base, so that's good. And I figured I could get up top, and we'll go 2 times. Figured I could get up top, start coming this way, my heavies and critters will be out front, and that should protect me from both this grappler and that rocket launcher. So we're gapping the smokes here to save a little bit of GBE. And I figured the mortar had just fired, so I figured there would be some critters behind me, so I didn't need to smoke anymore, so that was good. Again, all about doing more with little GBE. And we've got a bunch of critters out there doing their job, and meanwhile I'm gathering up GBE, and as I'm doing that, this rocket launcher is gradually getting killed. And now we're approaching the HQ. There is a little pocket, we flare up to it, just above the HQ where that rocket launcher doesn't sufficiently cover. That grappler would take a week to get this many troops, so it's not really a concern anymore, just overwhelming numbers. And down he goes. That was a bad base design. Not the worst base design I've seen in the past day, though. There's one on my high-level account that it was a literal laugh out loud. Another one closer to my level. This was fun. This was actually fun. Now you can look, again, I'm going to steal the drop. This is the 2-5 heavy Zooka. Heavy's out front, Zooka's behind. Heavies get blasted a little bit, that's okay. That is stolen from the leaderboard, guys. Now, I love the flare that I do on this. I'm going to BART this guy out, and then I'm going to come over here and try to eliminate these 2 towers as quickly as possible, and that's, 90% of my attack. So I end up flaring to right about here, but you'll notice when I smoke a little bit to the right of it, about here, so that my troops are sitting to the side of that smoke a little bit, and then when we flare over, the heavies walk out. Similar to the earlier attack where I talked about putting the smoke up against the wall and then flaring the heavies outward. No, 2 times because we're doing 4 attacks today, so I don't want this to take too long. So yeah, there the heavies go. They're getting chewed up on the beach. It doesn't matter. They're fodder. They're going to clear some mines for me. And we're just sitting there, sort of in the corner. I think on this one I flare a little too late. Yeah, actually that flare over to the shock launcher should have been a tiny bit earlier, maybe at about like 3/4 on the smoke timer, or just after. Waited a touch too long, but it didn't end up mattering. Clearing, and at this point all of the range towers, the splash damage towers, are gone. The mortars would hurt me, but they're out of range. Machine guns can't range. These guys can shoot all day with the number of troops I have left. And once again, a bunch of critters, 1 heavy out there, but a lot of Zookas. Look at all those Zookas. It's just overwhelming. This guy's, what, at 45? Level 45? Yeah, like I said, I mean, I almost feel bad with these guys because it's... Oh, 47. It's not fair, almost. It's fun, but it's not fair. And then finally, from this morning, a couple little mistakes in this. You'll notice there's a gap in the smoke, and there's also, again, that problem where the reflare under smoke is a little bit late, but again, it does not end up hurting me. I'm going to go right and try to avoid the blaster in this rocket launcher. You see that I can get into a pocket over here, and I will be safe from those, which means I really need to worry about these 4 items. Those are my big problem here. So, I'll put it to 2 times more for the drop, because you've seen the drop before. I'm using this drop all the time. I find it to be very, very effective at all levels. Well, not on my lowest level account, because I just got smoked, but... So, we're going to flare right up against the wall, and here we'll put it back to regular speed. Right up against the wall, and I tried to stretch a little too much here, and it didn't matter that the heavies came out of smoke, but I ended up gapping a little bit, and that could have been a problem, but wasn't. So, should have flared this a touch earlier. That was a bit of a problem. My Zookas got shocked, or all of this stuff would already be dead. But we had enough GBE for a shock down here, and so it became less of a concern. And now as soon as that mortar goes down, the 2 mortars here were flagged earlier, we can reflare back away from the HQ and just sit here for days. That mortar does range us. Right now it's focused on Everspark, but it would have been focused on the critters had the attack continued, but the attack didn't continue because, once again, you'll notice a theme here. That's a lot of Zookas left over. No heavies, a lot of Zookas. So, yeah, I have been having a whole lot of fun with this account. There are some good things happening. Lower level account, I just got smokes, level 1 smokes. That'll be fun to work with again. That account, by the way, has been very lucky with GBE statues so far. Nice GBE Guardian. I have a 17% already on that account. A perfect 17% Guardian. This account, I have struggled and struggled and struggled for GBE. And that one, like the 2nd or 3rd try, comes out with a perfect Guardian. Anyway, so yeah, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, drop a comment, say hi. I'm out. Hope you have a great day.